You guys, it has taken forever for us to get to the ceiling, but right after the girls and I wallpapered while Nick was away, he came home from a trip and decided to tear out the ceiling. So we're gonna tackle that,
okay? All right, so when we cut out the ceiling, we saved the medallion. However, as you can tell, one, it wasn't secured really well before. You can kind of see it bows a little bit. And then definitely out here when we cut it, there's just nothing supporting this. So we are coming in here and just adding this bracing in between the joists. And we'll use, you can see one right there on the corner. We'll use these plaster screws and then just go ahead and anchor the medallion and the surrounding plaster around it to all this bracing. That should give us a nice straight structural medallion. So we can go ahead and reuse this, and then we'll just fill in the outside around it with plasterboard. All right, now that we have the medallion braced up here, I wanted to come along this edge because of how far away the floor joist is to where the edge of the sheetrock is going to meet up. I wanted to brace it up, so we braced it up every 16 inches, and that's right where the resilient channel is going to land on each one of these. But this will allow us to tie in the plaster and the resilient channel, so both the sheetrock or the plasterboard and the plaster itself will be structurally sound and secured when we go to kind of fill that seam there. So that was pretty easy on this side. However, this side here, I was just going to leave because, you know, that 2-inch overhang with the resilient channel, that's not going to be an issue. It doesn't need to be secured there. However, what I found is that plaster is not really secure. So I'm actually going in and bracing up this side for the main purpose of just being able to brace up the plaster. Sounds pretty simple, right? Well, it's not. So I went ahead, the way I did it on the other one is I had used pocket holes on the board, and I was able to screw in this way, and then on the top side I was able to screw into the back. Well, the pocket holes work for screwing the board into the back side. However, there's not enough room here to be able to get your bit. So what I'm doing now is just screwing it in through the back side of the joist, and I'm pre-drilling these because I don't want this wood to split or this wood to split. So we're doing that, which is a little bit overkill, I know, but it is what it is. So then, in order to get these screws in back here, I actually had to get this drill up here. Boop, there it is there. That guy won't even fit because of this gap here. So I had to take the battery off, had to take everything off, slide it in there, put the battery back on, and then just kind of finagle my way back down through here. All right, so we are finished bracing up the medallion, and we are working on installing resilient channeling and soundproofing insulation into the ceiling of our dining room. Why, you ask? Well, you know, there's a crazy little lady that is up yonder. And she likes to make a lot of noise. Sometimes we don't want to hear it down here. While I was working on this, I got a call from one of my buddies, and he said that he can help us out on the garage. If you recall, a while back in one of these videos back here, we turned our 1940s, 1950s garage into a sweet, sweet modern garage where you can actually enjoy being in there. However, the one thing that was missing was like the flake on the ground, the sweet floor covering. It looked like nasty concrete. Well, that is getting fixed today. Alright. So this is the garage. They came here yesterday and they ground down the entire floor. So you can see there's a spot here that they ground down. You can actually see the rock through there. And then they came in and they mended all the cracks with what appears to be an epoxy. And so it does that. And then when they were finished with that, they sealed the entire floor to make it waterproof. So there shouldn't be any water that would leach through. It should help block it. And you can see even through here, like they put in some epoxy. All right, you ready to do this floor?
Yes, we are.
All right, so walk me through the process of what is gonna go down today.
So today we are going to mix and roll out base coat that our flake will go onto. We have our buckets of flake out here ready to go. We're going to be using, I think, sandstone is the color today, and we're going to cut in on the verticals first, and then a little bit on the edges, and then finish off on the floor with our big roller. It's just like painting. And then while we're getting the verticals done, we're going to flake as we go, just because there's about a half an hour of work time that you have to get the flake on while it's still damp, so it'll actually stick. After that, we're gonna back roll and make sure that the flake is really pressed into the base coat really well. And then today, that'll take about an hour and a half to dry and to cure. And then after that, we'll come back. We're gonna scrape off all the extra. We're gonna collect most of that, and then we'll vacuum again really well, get all the loose stuff off of it, and then we'll put on our polyaspartic top coat, which will seal everything in really well, and then protect it for many, many years to come.
All right, guys, it's been a minute, but we have the ceiling in. It is ready for the plaster guy to come in here and skim coat and plaster all of this. The medallion is in there. I have it shimmed out the best of my ability and might have to actually grind some plaster off or out before we skim coat everything else. But I'm not gonna do that right now. That'll be later. But yeah, this is what she looks like